If you're a typical homeowner like me who used to wonder why my garage doors rattled and squeaked, and you asked yourself why the springs break every couple of years when it seems they should last longer, you might want to watch this video. With a little occasional TLC, you can keep your garage door, which is the biggest moving part in your entire house, in good working order and reduce service calls from the garage door company, and that will save you money. Let's talk about what kind of lubricant to use when we take care of the garage doors. First, it may be tempting to use Windex like you saw a guy in a popular movie use on everything, but this is not a Windex job. There are also people who want to go for the can of WD-40 for everything, and I can kind of understand why. On the back it says it lubricates moving parts such as hinges, wheels, and rollers, and if you read more it says it cleans most surfaces of grease. WD-40 is genuinely a degreaser. Since our goal is to lubricate the moving parts, the last thing we want is something that's going to remove all lubrication. Next up is this 3-in-1 garage door lube, which caught my eye at the hardware store, and I thought this must be what I want, especially the quick drying no mess formula part. In practice, this stuff is a huge mess. It's very watery, and instead of sticking to the parts you want to be lubricated, it tends to overspray, and then it drips all over the place, and on top of that it smells bad. It would stink up the whole garage for at least a day. What's worked out best for me is this white lithium grease. It's not runny, it tends to stick where you spray it, and it doesn't evaporate off. It also has the added bonus of not stinking up the whole garage when you use it. And as a side note, if you have padlocks on stuff you keep outdoors, this lithium grease is great to use when they get rained on and eventually start getting stuck. Spray some lithium grease everywhere there's an opening to the internal mechanism, put the key in, open and close the lock several times, wipe off the excess, and you're good to go. It works great. And if you need things for your project, I'll include links to the gear, tools, and supplies I used for this video in the description. Let's talk a little bit about the different types of rollers you may have on your garage door. On one of my garage doors, I have this plastic roller. There are no moving parts you need to lubricate in it. This other one, you can see there are ball bearings in it, and it will need to be lubricated. I'm going to start at the top with this pulley. There are ball bearings in it, and we need to lube them. Then we're going to continue down the side, spraying all the moving parts. A little bit is all you need, and you should wipe off any overspray, because if it's not in the mechanism, it isn't doing any good. And besides, if you walk by later and brush up against it, you'll just get slimed and maybe even make a mess of your clothes. Now, the owner's manual for my particular garage door opener says to oil the door rollers, bearings, and hinges annually, and every 2 to 3 years to wipe down the garage door opener rail and apply a small layer of white lithium grease to the top and bottom of the rail where the trolley slides. The things I've decided to do every 6 months are everything I'm showing you except for the rail, which I do every couple of years. I even set a reminder in my Google Calendar to remind me of these tasks so I don't have to trust my memory to do it. The TA likes that. The TA is my personal task assigner, and she typically knows best. I like to use these nitrile-coated gloves to keep the grease off my hands, and they don't make my hands all sweaty like the latex hospital gloves. At my previous house, I don't think I can remember doing any maintenance on my garage doors. Like anything else in life, you just don't know what you don't know until you know it. We moved into this house after it was built almost 5 years ago, and I'm trying to be better about maintenance. According to what I've been reading and studying here at the University of YouTube, the average homeowner likely gets a standard 10,000 cycle garage door spring installed when the house is built. A cycle is running the door up and down one time. If you have an average of 6 cycles per day, your springs will probably break in 4 to 5 years. If you're one of those people who use their garage door as their front door, your springs might not last much more than a year. And doing no maintenance at all, or worse, allowing the springs to rust, will also reduce their life expectancy. In my case, my garage doors are both equipped with double springs. I've decided when a spring breaks, I'm going to replace both springs on that door to save having to do it twice. And also at that stage, the rollers are generally worth replacing as well, and they aren't prohibitively expensive or difficult to do on your own. On my other garage door, I have the ball bearing type roller. So we'll go ahead and spray some lube in there, wipe off a little bit of the excess, and move along. If you didn't need it before, you will definitely need a ladder to reach the springs. I like this Gorilla ladder since the top steps are full-sized and they don't make my feet sore like the regular ladders do. Up here at the springs, we're going to fold down the spray tube and use the larger nozzle so we get a good coating of lithium grease on the springs. And I have a piece of cardboard to put behind the springs so I don't get grease all over the wall. On the rail, I'm going to coat both sides of the top and a small distance on the bottom. Then I'm going to let the shuttle spread it out for me when the door goes up and down the next time. Alright, that'll do it for this video. Leave me some comments. Does anything here match what you do in your maintenance routine? And is there anything I missed?